Hey, everybody. That is Gary Smith.
Holy heat stroke crab, man.
That is Kaz Kenny.
Kapow!
And I'm Eddie Bramble, and this is episode 64 of the Blackwater's Edge podcast. 64, fellas. We're getting up there. That is Gary Smith. Kaz.
Oh, that would be mine.
That would be
Is it? It is.
That is yours.
It is mine.
Better turn that volume
All right,
down.
you want to talk about some fishing or what?
This fishing report is sponsored by...
This fishing report is sponsored by Anglers Sports Center, our headline sponsor of our Snakehead Mayhem tournament.
That's right.
So, look, folks, if you need some bait, you need some tackle, Anglers Sports Center is a great place to stop on Route 50 on your way down here to the Eastern Shore to go fishing. Did you know they sell snakehead destroyers, too? Oh, my goodness. Lots of good baits there. Look, Mike, Lindsay, all those folks out there. Alex, they're all there to help you out. All you got to do is talk to them, and they'll get you taken care of. And they will be here at our tournament this Saturday to talk to some of our guests. So as far as the fishing report goes, it's been hot, it's been hazy, and it ain't really been on fire.
Certain spots are.
Some places have been. Yeah, I mean it's been tough, you know. I mean it's this heat, you know. The fish just do not feed like that. If you go at night, you might have a good chance, you know. I've talked to some people that've been going at night with. Should I tell them about that lure that's doing everything here right now?
You mean my favorite lure?
Yeah. What is that lure called again, Eddie?
I believe it's called a Hyperlastic Dart Spin Pro. I believe so.
So look, folks, that has been really the number one producing bait here the last couple weeks. And I think the reason it's being so good is you got fish that are already garden fry balls. You've got fish that are on the beds. You still got fish pairing up. So you got a little bit of everything. And I think Eddie hit it on the head when we were talking about it earlier as to why we thought it was being so successful. And what did you say, Eddie? It's the only lure in the store.
Would you say that?
It's the only lure in the store.
Oh, it's the only one that looks like a fish. It's plain and simple. I mean, there are so many baits out there that do so many different things. You've got your chatter baits, your buzz baits. I mean, you've got your skipping frogs that don't even look like frogs anymore. I mean, I'm just being honest.
You are.
I mean, they look beautiful, but they don't look like frogs. I mean, there's some that look like frogs that do what they're supposed to do, but there's so many baits out there that don't look natural anymore. And I think that the Hyperlastics, even with that spinner on the back that kind of simulates the tail moving through the water, and it's better than a paddle tail.
And I'll give a little shout out to Amy Hassel. You know, she has been really catching them on that thing. And she's been posting up and telling everybody on every page what she's been using and where she's been getting them. And, you know, the other bait that's been really, really good here, and we just haven't been talking about it a lot because we're just selling so much. We were having a hard time keeping up with inventory. Just got a new shipment back in, so bam! There it is, a Snakehead Destroyer swim bait, baby. That's what you need. Look, if you want a trailer for your chatterbait or anything like that, that's a great lure to be using right now. That's the other lure that people are catching. And our guest today has even caught someone that. We'll talk to him later in the show about that. Catfish here and there.
Catfish are always all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of catfish been being caught lately. It's nice channel catch, actually. I've seen some nice channels over 10 pounds. I've seen some 13 to 15 pounds, which is really good to see. We haven't really seen catfish that big in a long time here in the refuge. You know, we've seen we used to have a lot of the bullheads, the green bullheads, you know, and we still got a good bit of them. But I think what happened with the bullheads is that they got predated on so much by the snakeheads. We knew that they were eating those little bullheads, especially over Key Wallace, 335, places like that had the numbers. DeCourcy Bridge, you know, they were eating them little bullheads there too. I don't know how many pictures we got of gut checking, and it's them little brown bullhead catfish. So I think, you know, I'm not a biologist, but it makes kind of sense to me that maybe because they have been removed from that circle, maybe these channel cats have gotten an opportunity to eat more fish or get a little bigger. You know what I mean? Maybe. I don't know. So I heard somebody got a blue cat the other day. It was about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds.
In Blackwater?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. But it was way down towards
the mouth.
Yeah, towards Fishing Bay and all that. I do know somebody who found a dead one last week above 335, and they said it was about 20 to 25 pounds. It was a big one. They said it was so bloated up, you could see. He said it looked bad when he pulled up on so many flies. The belly looked like it was alive from so many maggots in it. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Those big blue cats, we know that they don't make it in here, you know. Few eels are being caught for those that like to eat eels. I like to eat eels, so I've got a couple spots. I know I can go right now and catch some nice size eels to eat if I want to eat, or get some little ones for bait. Crabbing. Let's talk about crabbing. We haven't talked about crabbing a lot, you know. So let's touch on crabbing. For those of you that have never crabbed before in your life that are looking for someplace
Now, hold on
that
a
you may
second.
want to come?
Before you get too far into this, why is it that the crab guy has almost never included a crabbing report in the fishing report here on the podcast?
That's the best question I've heard yet.
I'm not sure. I just thought about that
You're
because.
the crab guy. and no crabbing report.
Do you want to sing a song first?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So if you've never crabbed here before, there's lots of places that you can go. Let me tell you, my nephews love hand lining, and I don't know any kid in the world that does not like hand lining crabs with a piece of chicken neck and a piece of rope, and your buddy standing there to dip them or just doing it yourself. You know what I mean? So if you want to catch some crabs while you're down here snakehead fishing, you can always hang like you can hang a trap off of like Key Wallace at the bridge there. You can hang a trap off of DeCourcy Bridge if you wanted to. Now, once you start getting up to Aries and Newbridge and places like that, you don't see as many crabs just because the water's a lot fresher once you get up the system there. You know what I mean? So if you're going to come visit and you want to do like a half-day snakehead fishing, a half-day crabbing, I would suggest to probably do your snakehead fishing first, with the heat like this because they're going to bite early.
That's right.
And then, once it gets a little hot, go find yourself a little bridge to drop some traps off of. Maybe take an umbrella with you and a little chair to sit in so you don't get all burnt up like I have before.
We'll say we've said this before, but I'll say it again real quick. We've had such a moderate spring. All your snakeheads been caught up until recently have been afternoon bite. The heat is on now, boys. You got to catch them early because they're going to shut down as soon as sun comes out.
And not just that. I've talked a little bit about this before, and I know some people that have done it. I've done it. What I like to do when it gets hot like this, I like to go at night. Okay, I like to go in the dark. And think about bow fishing and how they target snakeheads at night with boats lights. You know what I mean? They can see with the light. They're attracted to the light. So
I have a question. I haven't been bow fishing yet. I know a lot of guys tear them up, but that light. Now, does it just kind of freeze them like a deer in headlights kind of thing, or are they actually attracted to it where they swim towards the light? No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I don't know the answer. If you don't know, it's okay. I just don't know.
No, I mean, so from what I see, I mean, the snakeheads are there in the grass. So, so they're kind of pulling up on them. Sometimes they come to the light. Sometimes they run from the light.
Right.
I think it's all about the shooter. How good he is, how fast he can be, how accurate he is, right? See, I think that's why I would suck at it because I'm slow as it is and I'm late for everything. You know what I mean?
We've heard your hunting stories. We don't need any more from snakehead bow fishing.
But I think the thing, with this whole bow scene, a lot of guys are getting into it. You know what I mean? And I hear the guys saying, they're shooting everything up, they're knocking the numbers down. Maybe they are, but you know what? If you're a good snakehead angler, you know how to find fish that they can't. You can get places with your kayak that they can't.
Right, exactly.
So to blame the bow fishermen for screwing up your fishing in an area, I can't really see that, I could see maybe having some kind of an impact, of course, but I can't see a bow guy ruining a tiny creek that he can't get up to, but all the kayaks can still get into. You know what I'm saying?
Roy just answered my question in the chat. It says it hides the shooter from the fish, so the fish can't actually see the shooter, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, I understand now.
Very good. Thanks a lot, Roy.
Thank you. Thanks. And to answer Matt's question, yes, weighted hook with your hyperelastics. Weighted weedless hook for sure, 100%.
What else are we going to say here? So when I go at night, what I like to do is I like to take a lighted bobber, okay? Green, red, whatever. You can buy them at Walmart. I know you're going to get some in here. You were talking about getting some lighted bobbers in here, some glow-in-the-dark stuff.
Yep.
The key for me is this. It's going to sound so Shorebilly style, okay? I take black duct tape and aluminum foil. I take the piece of aluminum foil and put that over the top and let it hang out a little bit from the bobber, right? So it reflects the light down.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then what I do is I take 2 glass rattles.
Not one.
Yeah, not one. Not 3. 2. So then I take these 2 glass rattles and I tape them to the outside of this big lighted bobber, okay? I set them in about maybe 6 to 8 inches. Now, you can do this with glow-in-the-dark dart spins. You can do it with riptide mullets. You can do it with anything glows in the dark.
Don't give away the glow-in-the-dark dart spins. That's the trade secret.
That's a secret, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Secret sauce, man.
I know. I just can't keep my mouth shut. Anybody want some spots, man? I got like 100 spots here. I'm making maps now. Hey, did you see the new recently released map of Blackwater that the Maryland DNR put out?
Yeah, I saw that. Where do we see that at? I forget.
We saw
Yeah,
this weekend at the
at First Cast. Yes,
yeah,
the
Mentors.
pamphlet for the where to fish in Blackwater. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It's amazing. I want to get him here in the store.
And look, I talked to Joe. We're gonna make a map of every river.
Yep.
With pin. No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to get everybody.
Well,
excited out
they're
there,
already
you know what I mean?
they've already got the map of all. I mean, DNR's website has a map of all your ramps and public fishing piers and all that kind of good stuff. So if you're looking for places to fish and you don't know where to start, that's the place to start. Go to DNR's website and look for that map. It'll show you where you can fish in the state publicly. So
Just to finish up on the bobber, because I always get sidetracked. So I taped those 2 glass rattles to the outside of my lighted bobber with a little bit of aluminum foil over the top. Okay, and you can attach aluminum foil with some super glue so it don't go nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And when you cast, I mean, it stays true. You don't want a big glob hanging out. You just want enough to go around the bobber. That's all.
Take somebody with you, and when you're casting, they can film it and send it to Paranormal.
you beat me to it, Gary. I was just about to say it's going to look like a UFO for those
There you
snakeheads.
go.
But what it really is, I think, is this. Seriously, the sound. They hear the sound.
Yeah.
You know, they hear them rattles. I can hear them rattles 50 yards out from me when I shake that bobber, okay? So I can hear them rattles. This is the coolest part. A lot of times when you get the bobber close to you, you can watch that minnow doing circles, and you can actually watch the snakehead just below the light doing like a circle and looking at it, stopping.
That's kinda cool.
That's what I like about the excitement of that. So
Well, that reminds me of that video. I think somebody just posted it yesterday on Snakehead Life. It was just that you could just barely see the snakehead off in distance. Just kind of,
kind
of just floating right
I
there.
I think Rick posted that. I can't remember.
I can't remember who
think that's
posted
it
it.
was.
Yeah.
Somebody did. But
It's
yes,
been a lot of
you're
good
right.
videos on Snakehead Life this
Oh
year.
man, it has been. I'll tell you what. I mean, just the feedback we're getting, the participation we're getting is amazing. And look, don't forget we got the tournament this weekend. I don't want to get
Yep.
into all that, but I'm going to plug it a couple times as we're talking. You know, so
Sign
this
up,
Saturday
sign
get
up.
signed
Link
up.
in the description. So sign up there.
And if you sign up for all 4, you get free membership to the Snakehead Fishing Club. You
Yep.
know, and that club's growing, and we're doing good there. I think we've got quite a few members
Yep.
right now, and we got some new members coming. And look, if you haven't joined the club yet, tomorrow's guest speaker. You want to tell them?
You can tell them.
So tomorrow's guest speaker is going to be Dave McCullum. I know
Good
a lot of you folks follow him up there in the Upper Bay and things like that. So we're going to have him tomorrow at the fishing club as our guest speaker. He's going to talk about the Susquehanna, the places that he fishes, the places that he's finding good numbers of fish. He's going to give up some dirt, okay? So y'all might be able to get mad at him about something too anyway. So we're looking forward to having him here with us, and it's going to be a good time, and he's going to help us out a lot with information and things that he's seen in the areas that he fishes up top of the bay. As far as the fishing report goes, I think that I'm pretty good. Have I got to 10 minutes yet?
Oh, we're at 12 minutes.
Oh, 12. Should I go another 3 to 15 or what? No, I'm just kidding. Let's introduce our first guest. Go ahead.
So this week we have Kevin Hogan.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, Kevin? Hey, put that mic to you a little bit closer.
Hey, can you hear me now?
There you go. That's
There you
better.
go. I'm doing great, man. It's like a sauna in here, though. I'm not gonna lie. Good thing I got this hat on. Like,
Hey, I got these soft crabs over here. By the time this is over, they'll be good to eat, bro. Don't worry.
they're already cooked over there.
Free
ready to
soft
go.
crab sandwiches tonight. No.
No, like you were saying, snakeheads don't bite in the heat. Apparently, I don't either, man. It's nice.
It's not that bad.
What are
in
you going
here.
to do when it gets hot?
I was just
Man,
about to say
I know,
that.
right?
I know, man. Just driving down the road, the air conditioning blast, and like, oh, walk up here, I'm like, oh my god.
I don't even use the AC. I keep my windows down. That's the best
Actually, it's not
AC.
too bad outside, but you know, after you get a couple days of consecutive heat, it definitely rises in the building. You know.
My
I'm
mo-
the same way. I don't use air conditioning. I stopped using it when it broke.
I was about to say yours is broken anyway.
My mother asked me last week. She goes, "Honey, what do you keep your thermostat on?" I said, 62. And she just looked at me. She said, "Are you being serious?" I said, "Well, sometimes 55." She could not handle it. I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you, my favorite time of the year to come over here is when it is 20, 25 degrees, sick of
No.
hunting. I mean, and like, but hey, look, you got a cheesesteak from the Woolford store. You got all the food you want. You get nice and full, and you go take a nap in the tree stand. Maybe wake up when a deer comes by.
That's
you know?
right. No, I prefer hot weather. I'll take 100 degrees over a
Not me,
quarter
man.
inch of snow any day of the week. 100%.
Well, here's something Eddie told me earlier. He doesn't like snakes. Do you like ticks?
Oh man.
Oh, yeah. Everybody
Yeah, I
likes
mean,
ticks.
who doesn't like ticks?
So why would you
Everybody
want?
loves
So
ticks.
why would you want it to be
yeah,
hot? Or do you know how many ticks I picked off me this week?
I especially love that Lone Star tick. You know, who can't wait to get bit by the Lone Star tick?
Hey, I gotta be honest with you. I think I'm immune. I've been bit like
Think of it
19
as song,
times. And I think I've been bit 19 times, and my steaks taste much better.
Get the opposite reaction. You got that opposite reaction from the Lone Star.
So, Kevin, tell us about how you got into all this stuff. Let's talk about
Yeah,
this.
we go back, yeah.
Let's go to your childhood. What is your first memory of the outdoors?
Well, it's funny you actually hit on that before too. I am a huge advocate that every kid luckily in Maryland and Mid-Atlantic states and the Gulf Coast, we have blue crabs, right? I think if at the very least, if they don't get into fishing or hunting, every kid should go crabbing.
100%.
I mean, like, there's nothing better than throwing a chicken out there in a string, pulling it in, learning the ways of the water that way, you know? But so that's actually really doing that. I mean, I got into squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting. My grandfather was from East Tennessee. I call him Papaw. So he actually taught me years ago kind of the ways of, you know, he grew up in the days where you were actually hunting and eating the meat because you had to.
Right.
And then, you know, a couple 10, 20, 30 cents or whatever you get would buy your ammo back and provide some food. But that's kind of the fundamental basis of kind of where it all started for me, just getting in the outdoors. You know, as you get older and start carrying a gun, bow, you know, start doing a lot of deer hunting, duck hunting, waterfowl, geese. But, yeah, realistically, and then anywhere I go, travel, Outer Banks. I went to college in Louisiana, too, so I got to know all the Gulf folks down there, learned the love of crawfish. You know, we're Team Steam, they're Team Boil down there because cooking things differently, right? That's like a never-ending battle, right and wrong. But, just going through all those years, just learning how to do that, man. And I think that's why I love all these groups that we're a part of, and it's connecting all of the different areas of Maryland, right? And the coolest thing, and you guys have seen it multiple times, when I'm in the store, and you have kids coming in here and like, hey, Eddie, where do I get this? I saw this on here. I just think that's the coolest thing about the outdoors that we're all part of. You know, we could all kind of have bickering and back and forth of like, who's the best angler, who's the best hunter. Not nobody ever, right? But like, it's funny. That's the silver lining that I see it all. It's like this upcoming youth and this generation to get them in the outdoors. You know, it's enough with the Xbox and the PlayStations and the phones and the YouTubes, right? But like, once you get a kid outside crabbing or fishing, man, and the look on their face when they catch something is priceless.
Hey, don't get it wrong, kids. It's okay to like both. Xbox and PlayStation are okay too.
Virtual crabbing, right?
It's not just kids.
Virtual
Eddie cares not.
Boom! Hey, I just want 10%. 10%'s all I want, man.
Do you see virtual crabbing, dude? Let's do it.
If you guys could have seen Kaz's eyes just light up when Kevin said that.
Oh my god, dude! Like that, dude, we can do virtual shrimping, virtual crabbing, virtual crawfishing.
I promise you, they already have those video games.
Hey, can we have virtual
Maybe not crabbing,
online
but they've already got
tournaments
fishing and
around the country? And we could do virtual snakehead tournaments, man. Oh man, Kevin, you're a smart fella, bro, or a fart smeller, one of the two.
One of the two. I just went up to 20%.
We were this past weekend. We were part of a pilot program at Backwater, which is was called First Cast, and it was actually for adults who wanted to learn to fish.
That's awesome.
And it was pretty cool. It was good, and you know that excitement thing, it doesn't change.
Oh, it's real.
You know,
it's real.
What they say about we're all little boys.
That's Dave's
I
favorite line.
Little boy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's the coolest thing too, right? It's like not knocking on these fresh seafood markets and the Whole Foods and grocery stores like that, but like I love seeing when people actually catch something themselves, water to table, farm to table, and they actually eat the definition of fresh. And and we all know this. There's just something about it when you catch it yourself. It seems like it tastes better too.
Oh yeah.
Same would kill it, catch it, however you do.
Yeah. There's just a primal connection to nature.
Yep.
When you can kill something, drag it home, and eat it. It's just it's different. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just different than buying it from the grocery store.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, I do want to, you just made me think about something, Gary. The coolest thing about this whole mentor program, you know, you heard me saying the whole time, kids, youth, this and all that. We had a guy that had retired from a large manufacturing company that signed up because he didn't know what to do with his time when he retired.
And he wants to take his grandchildren.
I was just about to say.
And he wants to take his grandchildren. We had a lady that signed up. She was a professional, but she was a professional forager.
Yes.
And, you know, she was asked, well, why did you want to do this? She said, well, because if I can learn to catch fish, then I can add that to my foraging, you know?
We had another lady that she caught trout, went trout fishing with her dad one time in California when she was young. And another
lady that was actually part of the first shot program.
Yep.
And she came back for the first cast program.
And then we had the husband and wife, I think it was, that came from Salisbury that had never fished before in their life, and they saw
she had fished with her dad trout fishing when she was a kid.
What you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Just the people that came is what blew me away, because you think when you think mentor, you think a kid, you know? And I couldn't believe that we had no. What do you think the youngest person signed up was? Maybe late 20s, mid 20s?
It was. I think the youngest person was the girl that actually worked at the Harry Tubman park.
Oh, yeah,
I think that was the youngest person.
Yeah, I forgot about her. She was probably the youngest.
Yeah.
But it seemed like the rest of them were like older. I don't want to use that term, but they were not young people.
They were middle aged folks for the most part.
Good mix of people.
Yeah. You know, I think that's what it's all about. Kevin even availed to it. You know, when I bring my nephews down here, there's nothing more exciting to them than throwing that chicken neck out and flying a kite, they call it.
There you go.
Gets up
Yeah,
flying the kite.
You know?
Well, it's just cool too, right? It's like not only people locally, right, that are participating in these programs, but it's really cool when you see that shift from somebody that's not from our area, not catching our snakeheads, rockfish, whatever it is, and when they adapt their skill set from wherever they are, and they just see the similarities and the differences. And then the coolest thing, right, is like, what is it like when they're taking that home somewhere?
Exactly.
What are they learning from us, and what are we learning from them? So,
and then what can they teach other people once they get to that point?
that's the coolest part about this, amongst all the triangle of Maryland between this side, you know, west side or northeast Maryland, southern Maryland, I live, you know, whatever we're all calling it these days. Like all the gangs or whatever, you know, gangs of Maryland, gangs of New York.
We had one fellow in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
Had a lady from Sikorskyville, wherever Dave lives. I don't know where it is.
Dave Sikorskyville?
See, there's somewhere close to him.
Oh, that's
So, I
funny.
mean, they weren't all just local people.
No, that's they were traveling all around the
Yeah.
state to come to this program. It's gonna be a great program. So I think all the mentees definitely learned something. I think the mentors learned something too, which is just as important.
I think that's the biggest thing, is that we learn from each other, no matter how old or how young you are. You'd be surprised some of the simplest things a child has said to me in my life, and the way it registered was not like any adult had ever said to me in my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Kevin, fishing wise,
Yeah.
you know
So
you like fishing.
What's first fish you ever caught?
I think probably for most people, right, it's just throwing a bobber out there with a bloodworm, or not a bloodworm, an earthworm, catching bluegills, panfish, stuff like that.
Who took you fishing your first time?
Like I said, it's probably my grandfather. Actually, my mom's grandmother up in Connecticut. I did that a lot with him too. Like, I definitely felt like I learned from the elder generation that actually had to do this for a living, and then they were all retired, where parents were working and stuff, and you know, you're a kid running around summer break from school and just outside all the time, getting bit up by mosquitoes, ticks, chiggers, poison ivy. I think I need to start catching up with Kaz and start posting all the ticks that I've been pulling on my legs.
Oh, I haven't even posted them all. I mean,
of them, right?
shoot, I had 7 the other day
yeah.
just sitting down Wayne's because they ran across the field and they want to hop on me and give me a
I'm gonna
kiss.
get him a flea and tick collar.
Hey, I did take one of their pills and nothing happened to me. I'm still alive.
That's
No, I'm just kidding.
I wasn't going to touch on that. But if you're eating dog treats, that's on you. We don't need to know about that one.
Hey, man, rough times call for some rough
We
stuff.
don't need to know
bro.
your favorite.
So Kevin, I know there's one hobby that you haven't even touched on yet. And that's the fossil hunting. How'd you even get into that?
Oh man, so yeah, that's one of the things that's kind of like a trump card out there, right? There's a huge following. As much as we're advocates for snakehead fishing, sick of hunting bass fish, you name it, there's a whole sub community.
Virtual fossil hunting.
Virtual fossil hunting. You can't be doing it yourself, right? But there's a whole community from Maryland down to the Carolinas, Texas, or not Texas, Florida, Gulf of Georgia, and everything. That Miocene, Paleocene type area. Those are those formations that are anywhere between 10 to 25, 30, 60 million years old, right? So we can find, like, dinosaur era starts at like 100 million years. You can find dinosaur remnants in like inland Maryland and some other states too, out on the East Coast, but it's more prominent out west. But yeah, like out finding megalodon teeth, tons of different types of species. We had crocodiles roaming around all here. A lot of that's in southern Maryland along the world-renowned Calvert Cliffs.
Right.
But then there's a couple areas that you'll see periodically around here too. The oyster guys will dredge them up over here.
Now,
that's where it's exposed.
Now, did they fall out when the cliffs? Because I mean, it's fallen down a little bit in places. Is that how the fossils get exposed?
Yeah. I've actually talked on another podcast about this too. So it's illegal to dig in the cliffs, right? So the museums can do
for
that.
obvious reasons. Yep.
But obviously erosion, danger, things of that nature. But anything in the water line or that has fallen out is fair game, and that's the beauty of it. That's what's fallen out, and
It's all good to go after a storm.
Yeah, good storms, good tides, wintertime, clear water. So it's a lot of the same type of principles you'd apply for fishing or hunting. So just kind of looking at that. So some of those days where we're like, oh, it's too windy to fish. It's actually nice if the wind's blowing out the beach. Sometimes you have a blowout tide, and you can find a lot of stuff.
You don't have to worry about whether the fossils are biting or not.
We should be glad that you find a 6 or 7 inch megalodon tooth. I mean, that's a hammer. That's from a 60 or 70 foot shark.
That's wicked.
It's bigger than a city bus.
So let me ask you this. Let's talk about some of the epic finds that you've found.
Oh, yeah.
So if you had to talk about your top 5 finds,
Yep.
I mean, what would they be?
You know, the coveted thing everybody kind of searches for is that megalodon. But a lot of croc teeth, ray plates. There's just a lot of cool species out there that you can find. But the real thing everybody's looking for is that big megalodon tooth. But you can find a lot of really cool vertebrae, dolphin and porpoise skulls, things of that nature too. But like I said, it's hard to get you guys over on our side, but we've talked about it a million times.
We keep trying.
Do you find any Indian artifacts and all that stuff?
Yeah. So it's interesting. Like you do find a lot on our side as well too, and then over here on the shore, you guys are notoriously known for right. And it's cool because for our age or for how old we are, a couple thousand years seems like forever, but that's nothing. That's like a blip in time,
that's
right?
nothing in the course of history.
Yeah. So you have a couple thousand years up to like I think 10, 12, maybe 15,000 years. Some of the places on the shore. But then when you put that in perspective with the fossils of Miocene and Paleocene, you're talking 25, 30, 50, 60 million years, right?
Wow.
We can't even comprehend that scope of time, right?
That's before snakeheads.
No,
it's not.
No, actually,
no, it's
not.
actually, you guys go ahead. I'll pull it up.
I'm going to look for it. But yeah, I know snakeheads.
I'll
They've been
start
around
something now.
you've done it now.
No. I was blown away when I saw it. I said, you got to be you lost your mind.
I mean, look
Kevin,
at something like a horseshoe crab.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's just like primitive as it gets, man. They've been around for millions of years.
Yeah.
Kevin, Rudy wants to know if you found Blackbeard's treasure over there.
Blackbeard's treasure. We got to go to North Carolina, Virginia here for that.
Yep.
But when we do, we won't tell anybody.
That's right.
And I'll buy an air conditioner for this room. We'll be good to go.
Yeah, we had somebody actually donated an air conditioner for us. I just haven't had a chance to install it.
I'm just messing with you, man. I like the sauna, baby. The crabs are cooked. I'm getting ready to eat. It's all good, man.
I'm getting ready to throw some bacon on them right now. Don't worry, baby.
That smells good, man. I hear that sizzling, baby.
Hey, Kevin, real quick.
Yep.
Let's take a little bit just to. I know you wanted to give something away today here on the podcast to somebody.
Yeah, cool, for
so,
sure.
We're going to get into what this is all about later in the podcast. I want to get back to the dinosaurs and stuff, but we're looking at time, so we got to kind of do all this stuff. So
Megalodons, not dinosaurs. Megalodons.
it's still a dinosaur to me. Isn't it a dinosaur?
It's an ancient fish. Ancient shark.
Fish.
Ancient shark. Giant
Okay,
shark.
so Kevin, just plug your spice line a little bit, and let's go ahead and give somebody a 3-pack of spices real quick.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, we've actually developed 11 seasonings and blends that kind of encompass enough for all flavors and all palates out there. One of the things I want to give away on the show here is we actually made one. Can you see this on the camera here? Yeah. Snakehead Buffalo. Right? Snakehead Buffalo is just the same type of flavors you love on buffalo wings, chicken, things of that nature. So a lot of people are loving making, you mix it with your breading. You can mix it with your ranch or blue cheese dressing. Make a dipping sauce for it. You can prepare it any type of way, right?
And I can say to the folks out there that it is absolutely delicious, even licking it off your fingers.
Yeah, that's a real good one. The other thing, too, for all the barbecue heads out there, if you want to put that one up on that camera. So we have a honey barbecue obsession. We actually have 3 barbecue obsessions. We have a bold and spicy and a regular. This thing turns literally to just like liquid honey when you're actually putting on your fish bites or ribs, brisket, you name it, right? It's really cool to see what people actually prepare and come up with when they try all these different blends. And then part of the other 3-pack, so we're giving away 3, right? Then we have our famous Shoreline Obsession. So just a really kind of a play off a traditional bay blend, but we actually put a smoky flavor. We actually did a giveaway, me and Kaz, for a bushel of crabs at Shoreline Obsession with Brady Feltz, it was a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, and that guy actually picked his crabs up last week.
Yeah, it was so awesome. It's really cool to see people enjoying different flavor profiles. The sky's the limit, right? There's a lot of cool ways so many great chefs out there, and it's so fulfilling when we see people sending pictures of what they cook, So we're going to give away that 3-pack of what you just saw right there for the giveaway right now.
All right, so
what do they have to say?
What do they have to say in the comments to win that?
Okay, so what they need to say is...
Can I pick it?
No, I got it.
Okay, good.
The crab stand.
Oh, see, I was gonna give something back to you.
You do it? We can go back and forth, man.
All right, so first person put the crab stand in there, you get that 3-pack. There we go. Back to the dinosaurs.
Hold on.
Back to the dinosaurs.
How old are the snakeheads?
Oh, yeah, so we were just talking about that. So I did pull it up. So here it is right here. If you can see it. 50 million years.
Fake news. Fake news.
So I'm just going to read what it says here. They likely originated in the South Himalayan region of the Indian subcontinent, modern day northern India or eastern Pakistan at least 50 million years ago.
Yeah, but that's not here.
I know, but I'm just saying how long they've
They've only
been
been here
around
20
for.
years.
That's right.
No.
Well, that's a testament to how hardy of a fish that is, though. If it can stay,
Well, that's what I was saying.
survive for
Yeah,
that
you know
long.
what I
No, I'm
mean?
saying they've only been in Maryland for 20 years.
Yeah.
So,
But it's crazy because like you can find, if you want the right answers, you can find it if you look for it. You
You
know,
can find
what
the
I
wrong
mean?
ones too.
Yeah, you can find the wrong ones too.
oh man,
So, as far as value goes
Yep.
in this fossil game, because I see people and I look at posts and I see stuff that's for sale.
Yeah, man.
I mean, this stuff's high. I mean, you get the right tooth, you could be sitting on what kind of figure?
I mean, it's also in the eye of the buyer too. But I mean, in pristine condition, I've seen $15,000-$20,000 for big, perfect, pristine 7-inch megalodon
crazy,
teeth.
man.
I mean, the sky's the limit, right? That's just a tooth, right? You can get up to whole skeletons of animals, right? That museum qualities have, or private buyers. There's lots of, for me though, one of the things I'll tell you, it's each person's kind of has their own thing, but to me, they're really priceless. It's part of that journey, that experience going outdoors. And when you find that, something you've looked forever for, I mean, you could go to the same place 1,000,001 times, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, there it is.
it's just like card collecting. I mean,
Yeah.
you can buy packs from a store for 3 years, and
Yep.
when you finally get that one card you're looking for, it's just
Yeah.
I used to hunt for Indian relics and
Yep.
stuff when I was growing up, and it's cool. When you find something really, really nice, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, like I said, there's definitely a market for them, and it's very alive and well, and people enjoy doing it. But it's just a really great hobby and way of life that people love to do.
Have you found any, like, I know you didn't find a megalodon skeleton, but have you found any, like a set of vertebrae or a lower jaw or?
It's really hard to find. I mean, there's some areas of the world where they found whole jaws of sharks, but because of the cartilage and the way their mouth is, you're typically just finding the teeth.
And probably
Well,
because
they
it's a
don't
lot
find the
colder
body
too,
because
right?
they're all cartilage.
Yeah. But you'll find I found like lots of really cool porpoise skulls, huge porpoise and whale vertebrae, because that's what all these sharks were doing millions of years ago. It was a shallow sea all the way up to the mountains of Maryland and farther. They were in here as a breeding ground. So these sharks were coming in and eating those mammals.
Man, I'm learning a lot.
Well,
tonight.
it's funny that we're talking about fossils because and I don't know. Like, I mean, you know how smartphones always listen to you. I mean, they always know what you're thinking anymore. But,
just pop
but anyway, I was watching TikTok the other day.
Yeah.
And this one came on about it was this guy it was like a 6-foot slab of just rock and dirt or whatever. They cut it in half, and there was like 30 fish just fossilized in there. They're all about 6 or 7 inches long, and just the whole thing was just full of fossilized fish. It was just really cool. It was it was just really neat.
You know
to
what
see.
I used to find a lot up along the Susquehanna River was ferns.
Yeah.
Like ferns in the shale. You pull the shale
Yeah.
apart.
That's even older than this stuff. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
back from the
the
Ice
further
Age,
west
wasn't
you go, it's older. Yeah.
Huh.
But it's
I
really
got a good area out in PA where you go crack some shale and find everything you want in that stuff. Serious.
Well, see, some of the most fun things too. It's like you're taking out the boat or the kayaks, canoes to get to these spots. There's a lot of great public spots to fossil hunt too. But when you're out in the boat, right, you better believe I always have a fishing pole. A lot of times you're going in the morning, you see those schoolies breaking, those rockfish breaking. So it's kind of fun. You can catch fish, find fossils, all that kind of fun stuff in the same day, man.
Your buddy Grant said that you got a good eye for finding those teeth.
There you go. Yeah, I actually brought a couple of them on the show. I got tied up today, but yeah, I've got a couple really nice ones, man, about the size of your hand.
You said you brought them with you here
No,
today?
unfortunately, I didn't get a
Okay.
chance to grab them before I came up here today. But there's actually one in the picture that you put for the post up here, that big megalodon.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, like and that's another thing too. Like because we all know like hunting and fishing is not for everybody, but like you can always take a kid out finding fossils.
Let me ask you this: so if you go over there and you find things, so here's the deal. Like I went to Assateague one time and I found a bunch of conch shells.
Yep.
Right after we had a real bad flood and real bad storm. I knew they were going to be there. So I took a few home and I laid them on a bench and I put conch shells for sale. Best offer.
Right.
Let me tell you what happened. Within 2 hours,
Yeah.
I got the feds on the phone calling me left and right,
Yep.
asking me if I'm selling conch from Assateague Island. I said, yeah, I found them down there. They're just on the beach. He said, well, you're not allowed to sell anything from a
Federal ground.
Not allowed to profit from federal property.
something
That's
like that. Yes.
I think there's also laws in place too for modern stuff. Modern whale bones, modern porpoise. But once it gets into that fossil, it's a different. It's
Okay,
a
so
different
my
type of
question is,
conversation.
if you're over there and you find
Calcuttas
stuff,
steak.
can you sell what you find over there?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of people. There's pages all over Facebook for selling fossils.
Okay, let
too.
me ask you this: have you sold any fossils?
I personally, like I was telling
He
before.
likes to keep
You're
them,
a
man.
pack rat.
He's a collector.
No, it's a collector. I'll tell you.
I'm the same way with baseball cards.
I'm
so I
telling
get
you,
it.
it's almost like when you go so many times, and sometimes you're so determined and you're there, right? And you're like, it's got to be here, and you don't find it. But when you find it, it's literally priceless to me.
Is that like today when you were determined to go find something today and it missed your bait?
Yeah, 3 casts, boom, rocket out of the water, spit the hook, and then I was like, oh, I got to be here. So. Yeah, it's fun when you really go and try to seek it out to try to accomplish the task at hand, and you learn something every time.
I think the real question is, are you going to go back after the show's over?
I might. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what I learned in like those 3 casts before I came here today. Since the water was so high and the wind pushed it in, they were way up under the overhang. Every time I would sneak it in there, as I'd get the hit, but they were just being really finicky. So look, even in a 5-minute, 7-minute fishing trip, I learned that today.
I'll tell you what, that's some of the cool stuff about snakehead fishing is you never have it figured out. You know what I mean? You just never have it figured out. Let's want to give away something, Eddie?
Absolutely.
Give something else away again.
Yep.
All right, so for the first giveaway here, sponsored by CCA, Maryland's great Chesapeake invasive count. Look, folks, the snakeheads, the blue cats, the flatheads, any invasive species that you catch here in Maryland, you need to go over to the iAngler app and get yourself registered. And then you can submit all of your catches to the great invasive count.
Easy way to sign up is
Yep.
go to ccamd.org/count. That's the easiest way to get to it.
There you go. One more time, Eddie. Say that again.
ccamd.org/count.
I've had a lot of people ask me they're having trouble signing up, things like that. So that's what I've told them. Either reach out to Dave or reach out to CCA and see what they're not doing right. So the way that this whole invasive count thing works is that,
It's free.
Yep, it's free. You win prizes. You measure your fish, how long it is. You can gut check the fish and submit. And you don't have to do that, right? You don't have to give your specific area. They would like for you to give a body of water. So you could say the Patuxent, the Potomac, the Bush. You don't have to say what creek it was or anything like that.
Or you can just hit OK and it'll take your location right there. Boom, done. And it's not that location is not shared. It's just for data purposes, data collection on the fish species, not for anything else.
So for this CCA, and it's also sponsored by Yamaha, this
Right.
T-shirt. So in the comments,
Hold up the shirt for him. Let him see it.
how about in the comments if we do? It's a very, very, very nice shirt. You see it there, property of Yamaha, Whitewaters, baby. So you can have that shirt.
Kevin, what do they got to say?
Yeah, what do I gotta say?
Oh, for that one?
Yep.
Well, I took the last one. What was it for you? What were you gonna say the last one?
I harvest invasives.
There you go. I
that-
harvest invasives.
Put that in the comment, and you can have that shirt. I'm saving what I was going to do last for another one.
Well, hey, the good thing too, I forgot to mention, if you put in a promo code on BassrackOutdoors.com, it's 10% off. It's Chesapeake at checkout. That's a gift I'm giving away for everybody today. It's 10% off any order that you guys get on BassrackOutdoors.com today too. So
how long does that work?
So actually, yeah, that's a great question. We did it live for this show, and you have a 24-hour window, right? Just for those listeners out there, people that are following up, watching this after the fact. So just go in there, hit Chesapeake is the promo code right at checkout. You'll get that discount. It'll be shipped right to your doorstep.
That is very, very awesome. So for those of you who didn't hear that, Father's Day is this weekend, and there is a lot of good stuff over there to give your dad. You think your dad's a crab picking champion? Put that in the search bar and see what you find.
I'll tell you what though, man. Between all the retail stores I have, and including you guys here, those high-end Cryptek mesh snakehead hats have been flying off the shelf. I mean, I've made hundreds of those, and I'm constantly making them. Lots of cool snakehead shirts, the crabbing shirts, the decals.
You have my favorite shirt on right now. I can tell you that.
Can't go wrong with the Maryland, right?
Nah, that's my favorite.
We're all working in the Maryland flag, the different state flags I have too. But it is what it is. But like I got really inundated with the Maryland crab flag years ago, right? Everybody started doing it. So I'm like, all right, we got to get a spin on it with some hunting and fishing. So it's just kind of fun. And it's really cool too how we always love to say, oh, we have the best flag out there, and all the different states are so prideful for it.
It's funny. I saw a thing online one time. It said Maryland's not a state; it's a cult. So,
I remember you showing me that.
They put Old Bay on everything.
Yeah.
They think they're the best state in the world, and they worship their flag like it's a god.
literally put the Maryland flag on anything. It's like sold. I love it. Wrap a whole truck in it. Let's go.
Let's shift gears here a little bit. Let's talk about hunting.
Yeah,
You're a
man.
big hunter. You love hunting. I
love
know
it.
you got a son. You've been getting him out there with you.
Yep.
What got you fired up to get into hunting?
Same thing. Back to my papa, my grandfather. He got me into deer hunting, squirrel hunting, rabbit hunting. I love tying in the whole youth stuff. Like we did the youth waterfowl and goose hunt this year in Southern Maryland with a good group of guys down in Charles County. Duck hunting over here is doing a lot of sika hunting, whitetail. Trying to think, like my dream hunt one day I will go out west or Alaska to hunt some big game. Or with the lottery system, everything you need to do there. But same thing. That's just outdoors therapy at its finest, man. Sometimes when you're sitting there disconnected, sitting in the tree stand, ground hunting, whatever you're doing, and just letting kind of nature absorb you, man. It's really fun. So that's definitely really tied to the roots of just. I think a lot of people. I tell people all the time. They say, "Oh, I don't hunt, I don't fish, I don't fossil hunt." Just find a hobby in general. I think we're very connected to work and what's going on, and all that's important. But at the same time, like, where is your stress relief?
I got to be honest. I've kind of disconnected from the news and the media and all that.
I ain't watched the news in probably 5, 6 since before Trump was elected. Anyway,
Yeah, I
quit watching it before that election even happened. I quit watching the news.
I saw
I'm
the
just
coolest
sick of it.
thing on the news this morning. Walking out the door, I don't watch the news. My wife turns it on. Did you see where Scotland and trying to remember who it was? Were playing soccer anyway, and Scotland was supposed to win. They were favored to win, and they had the ball down in their 20-yard range, and one of their players kicked the ball over to another guy, and it got kicked out by the other team. Guy kicked it down the sideline and kicked a goal over the goalie's head from 54 yards out.
It's not bad.
crazy, man.
It's the longest playoff kick ever in
How about
the
that?
playoff history.
Nice.
I love obscure facts like that. I mean, that's not really obscure, but I just love when I don't know if you guys watch baseball or not, but I can't even pronounce his name. Shohei Ohtani. He pitches and he plays the field and he hits. He's probably the best hitter in baseball right now, and he's probably the best pitcher in baseball all at the same time.
What? I did see something.
Dude
about
is
him.
leading the league in ERA, and I think he's second in home runs. He's
Yeah.
that's a once in 100 years baseball player.
Well,
I
that's
love
the same
stuff
thing
like
with
that.
this thing. I mean, you watch the goalie diving for the ball, and
Yeah.
it looked like it was a tether ball, and it was just pulling into the
Yep,
air.
exactly, man.
Except it was ahead of him.
Well, I've always found too, right? Like a lot of people, and it maybe not always true, but like people who just have raw athletic ability in a
Yeah,
lot of sports
exactly.
are great at hunting and fishing, like just outdoor stuff, right? And that's one of the best things, whether you're catching a fish or not. But when you're sight casting, you're like, I'm gonna teardrop this lure right under that bush, or right next to that rock. You know,
That's like Trent Cole. I don't know if you guys remember him or not. He was the defensive end for the Eagles.
Yep.
He used to come down to Salisbury turkey hunting every year. I met him a couple times at Brew River. Real nice guy. Great outdoorsman. I mean, just a great overall guy, but a great football player, great outdoorsman. So,
You sick of hunt, correct?
I do.
Public, private.
It's
Or
hard to
both.
get on the private round. I love spending a lot of time. I spent a lot of time this season down in Taylor's Island down here, just getting up in the way up in the skinnies and the canoes and kayaks, little john boats and stuff. But yeah, just being out there, and you guys, both of you guys, or all three of you guys, are well aware. I mean, those little bastards can be 5 feet in front of you, man. A stag of a lifetime. You hear them bugling, you're like, where are you at? Even jacked up in a tree. But yeah, and I'll tell you, it in no comparison, man. The sika is so much better eating than whitetail. It's not even
We
fun.
were
not
talking
close.
the other day about that and the difference in private and public. And I like private, and I hunt private. But I like public. But it's almost like hunting for two different animals, because on private, they lay there, and when the feeder goes off, they get up and come to it. And it's pretty much when you see them, it's time for the feeder to go off. On public, they forage all day.
Yep.
You
Well-
never know when they're going to be walking through.
Well, and that's the thing, right? On a lot of the shore counties here and out in Western Maryland, you can use rifles that you can't. Well, I guess they just changed the flat cartridge this past season too, but most of it's bow and shotgun or crossbow in most of the counties, right? So that's one of the things I love coming over here with the compound bow and really making it a challenge,
Oh,
man. That's the best. And when you hear those footsteps coming, you're looking around, you hear the splash and whatever it is. I love it, man.
Do you ever just blind shoot like I do? Like when I hear the sound, I just start shooting that direction as many times as I can.
One time you just went, and just shot it in the air. And it actually fell in bullseye right on. I was like, how'd you do that, Kaz?
Kaz, I'll be honest with you. I think the last, what's it been, 10 minutes has been the longest I've ever heard you not speak in this podcast.
I'll be honest with you. I'm having a good time tonight. I'm learning. I'm listening. I mean, I don't know, man.
I've never heard you listen to this
Well, I
much.
got to be honest. I think this is why. Okay, so I brought me some watermelon cotton candy to eat.
Nasty.
I brought me some Rockstar juice to drink.
Oh, this is brought to you by Rockstar. I got one too.
And I brought this too, but Gary ate all that.
That's better. That watermelon is, oh my God.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Look, it tastes just like watermelon. Gary said it does. It's not watermelon because it doesn't have what?
Seeds.
Seeds. I said I can go downstairs and get you some.
Tastes like seaweed with sugar on it.
How would you know what that tastes like, Gary?
Because that's what it tastes
Well,
like.
he's eating sushi, so
Yeah, I've had seaweed before.
there you go.
But again, it's back to that cross-pollinating, right? It's so cool when you find areas, whether you're fishing there or hunting there, and you're like, this would be great to go fishing here. This is great to go hunting in.
Yeah.
And it's really learning the outdoors at all different times of year and different times of season, temperatures, tide levels, you name it. I mean, a lot of you guys that do it all the time know, but that's one of the biggest questions a lot of people ask me is like, when do you go? Where do you do this, right? A lot of those questions, it's like, you just got to kind of go explore. And any little tip that we can share, it's awesome to do, man.
You know, I think the coolest thing is we've got a few years of history between us.
Yeah, man.
And I know
it's been
that-
like 5.
Yeah.
It goes quick,
5,
man.
6, yeah. And I think the coolest thing for me and you is that, you know, we always network together. You know, if I found something, I share it with you. If you found something, you share it with me.
Yep.
And I think that we really learned a lot from each other, you know?
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, the COVID thing happened. Everybody kind of drifted apart. So we're hoping, you know, with COVID being done, that we can get back to where we were with everybody. I'd love to have you over here take a sick hunting again sometime this year like we did before. You know what I mean?
Let's do it, man.
Yeah. So,
Well,
you know,
it's so funny because I literally, just because you have to drive over the Bay Bridge, but I'm right across the bay from.
It's quicker by boat.
Yeah, by boat, right where we are right now. You could be at my house, smack dab across the bay. It's
well,
so funny, man.
ride that sucker over here, dock it at Madison Bay, and we'll pick you up, man.
I think
Yeah,
Kevin,
I'm gonna be on
what do
this-
you live like 10 minutes from my brother-in-law?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that,
What a small world, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, Gary and me are gonna swim across the bay. We're gonna do that.
Hey, I do got to say this. You said that the what was it? The Iron Man Sunday we had here? Was
Yeah.
that what that was?
I think it was the Eagle Man, actually.
So
What was on?
when I
What was
do
on?
watch the news, you know, I like to watch 16 WBOC, you know, that kind of stuff. Well, I can't remember the lady's name, but she competed in it, and she swam that whole thing, ran that whole thing. She's one of the lead anchors. I mean, I just
yeah?
can't think of all their names, yeah.
Good.
But I just wanted to say that was pretty amazing to see the dedication that she's put in here, because I watched some of the talk shows that they have, you know, Outdoors Delmarva Today, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, she's been preparing for that. And just to see what was the word we used? A middle-aged woman get that like that was just pretty impressive for me.
They'd probably be the ones you get to drag your deer out for you.
Yeah.
She probably do a better job than me.
Oh, you got another half mile? Come on here.
It's funny. I mean, the amount of dedication, I don't say it's funny, but the amount of dedication it takes to even finish that race, let alone to even compete
Yeah, just to
for
be
a
in
top
it,
spot.
to be in it, yeah.
Just,
Well,
just
it's
to
like-
be in it.
yeah.
A lot of people complain about being behind all the bikes. They're going 25 mile an hour. I mean, they're rolling, man. I was impressed.
I mean, it's what, 2 days of inconvenience for.
Well, this was only one. This
Well, I'm
time.
saying, but they've got this one, and then they got another one in September, October, or
Just,
something.
I
like
don't
that.
find it being inconvenience. You just, I mean, it's not like you wake up and there's bicycles in front of your house.
It's just like anything else. You've got a handful of idiots that ruin it for everybody else who
Right.
want to do things right.
Exactly.
And that's what it boils down to. And
Exactly.
it's always that handful of idiots
I
that
mean, we've got them coming and going. They go by us on the way early,
Yeah.
and they go by us on the way late. So
Well, see, that's one of the many things, right? It's like that's why all the different areas around, but the shore is so awesome, right? Like just to walk here to Cambridge, from Woolford to Cambridge, like how long would that take if you walked, right? Nonetheless, run and then swim, bike. I mean, you have some pristine area. This area is God's country out here. It's a true feat to really test your physical prowess for those people too, man. So people say it's an inconvenience, but I think it's awesome. I love honking the horn and cheering those people on when they're rolling down the road, man.
I usually put my hand out, let them hold on to me. I get up to 70 and get around everybody with them. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's going to work.
what I wonder is like the ones that are from mountainous areas and stuff. When they get here, how much easier it
How
must
flat
be
it
for
is,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, they're rolling, man.
They're halfway through and think they're probably not even broke out in the sweat yet.
So Kevin, I know you like turkey hunting.
Oh yeah.
You got any turkey stories for us?
I shot a big bird and flipped it and I was so in awe because it got up and flew away. I didn't shoot it. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, they got the one-upping story or whatever," but that was probably one of the most random encounters I've had in recent time. But it's just funny too, and you nail it. Those are such strong birds, man.
Oh, it's like hitting some big guy in a bar with all you got, and he shakes it all.
Yeah, you sit there and it's knocked out and you're good to go, but then it's get up and go, man. But yeah, just watching the turkey. That's some of the coolest thing about turkey hunting too, right? It's so close quarters, watching them put on the show, fan around, and dance. It's awesome to see, man. And I've actually had a couple of a good family friend or a good friend of mine. His son killed a 4 or 5 beard turkey over here in Wicomico.
4-beard?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Yeah, it was his first turkey. He did it with an outfit over here in Wicomico, man.
Wow.
The guy
That's his first?
apparently he never saw it before. Came in, put on the whole show, boom. Little guy, man, it's awesome. Like, and he always fished and stuff too, but he is hooked for life for turkey.
Oh, he's ruined.
And
yeah.
he's ruined though, right?
That's like shooting.
He'll never beat
a
that.
double drop for your first
yeah.
deer. This
Yeah.
is crazy.
Waterfowl. I know you love duck hunting.
Yeah, duck hunting, man. That's one of the things I want to really start exploring more and more as I get older, coming over here too. But I love hunting everywhere along the Patuxent River where I live. A lot of sea duck hunting. The puddle duck, the sea duck conversation out there. Goose. Obviously, they change back and forth with the limits of, 1 now?
Yeah, 1 now.
That's got to be tough for a lot of these outfitters and guides, come over here quite a few times. Actually, up in Delaware, I did a lot of snow goose hunting. So that's always fun. Made a lot of goose jerky out of those. So, yeah, it's just that's another thing. It's such a primitive call when they're coming. When everybody gets down, like, oh, man. And when they lock their feet in, everyone's like, let's go. Boom, boom. It's fireworks, man.
All right, I'm going to give away something. We'll come back to you.
Let's
talk about
do
some
it.
crabbing. So, right now, we're going to give away a Woolford General Store $10 gift card that's sponsored by Horseman Enterprises, my good friend Benny. Look, if you're down here on the Eastern Shore, you need work done on your boat, you need a custom build or anything like that, this man builds some of the most amazing crabbing boats you've ever seen in your life. Look, you want this $10 gift card? Say, I like custom crab boats. And you can have that.
I like custom crab boats.
That's pretty complicated, but good,
Yeah.
right?
Good enough. That'll work.
Okay, so let's talk about waterfowl. We've talked about, done any pig hunting?
Actually, you know what? When I lived in Louisiana, I missed my opportunity to go do it because they were all over the place. I spent more time down in Louisiana actually doing the inshore trout and red fishing. And obviously, a couple hundred yards offshore down there, you're fishing all the oil rigs and everything down there for the tuna, the amberjacks, the mahi, the billfish. But I actually need to go back down and do some hog hunting down south, man. I really want to do. We should do a podcast for it. We should do the helicopter hunt.
Oh, that'd be,
Hey, that'd be good.
Man,
I
I'm
would
down.
love-
I've
I've been wanting to do that for years, man. I have some good friends in Texas that can take
I
us to
just
do
want to
it.
strap Kaz in and push him out. Let him swing out over that helicopter.
You said you lived in Louisiana?
Yeah,
I didn't know
I went to college in New Orleans, man.
Okay, good deal.
So,
My brother just got back from Louisiana. He actually he didn't just start. He started a little while ago working at a restaurant over in Salisbury.
Nice.
And they went down there because they've got gator on the menu now.
Yeah.
It's called a salt shack.
Nice,
And
nice.
they've got gator on the menu, and they've been killing it with it.
Gator is so good, man. Everybody's like, oh, it tastes like chicken, right? But no, it's really cool to see all the different areas of our country and what's considered delicacy and good food out there. A lot of those, too. I mean, I know they have a season where they're wild, but a lot of them are from the farms down there. A lot of the tourist places down there sell the gator heads and the feet and everything. But I love, like, this area on the shore is probably one of the most areas in Maryland that reminds me the most of Louisiana golf.
Me too. Like, I've been down to some of them places in Alabama and the swamps
It's
down
just
there.
awesome,
man.
man.
Yeah, man. Look, I know you love alligator. I love alligator, and these guys love alligator. But I tell you what else you're going to love. You're going to love this free raffle ticket right here that you can win from the Land Group, courtesy of our good friend, Mr. Rob Fryer. If you're down here on the Eastern Shore and you're looking for that special piece of property, that special place, you're looking to retire, Rob Fryer is your man. And the Land Group, they don't just sell dirt, they sell all kinds of good stuff. Trophy deer, what?
I think you just came with Rob's new slogan. Looking to retire? Call Rob Fryer.
Hey, there you go. Bam, kapow. So look, if you want to win this raffle ticket, so this raffle ticket is from the Midshore Fishing Club. It's a rock fishing trip on the Chop Tank River in October 2021. The trip is going to be provided by Captain Mr. Phil Goody.
Yep.
Captain Phil.
The trip is for 6 anglers anytime after 1 p.m. Monday through Thursday in the month of October. All proceeds from this raffle are going to the Clint Waters Scholarship Fund at University of Maryland, Horn Point.
Yep.
So, we're trying to help people that want to get into ecological stuff, and that helps Horn Point and everybody else too. So if you want to win this, Gary, what do you want him to say?
I love land.
I love land.
I love it.
I love it. So I love land. Put that in the comments. You can have that raffle ticket. Kevin, let's talk about crabbing. You like crabbing?
Uh-oh.
Now look.
Caught, not bought, baby.
Yeah, caught, not bought. From the boat to your throat, baby, right?
No, baby. Yeah.
All right, so look. Louisiana does it different than we do here. Florida does it different than we do here.
Yeah.
What team is Kevin on? I've always wanted to ask you that question.
Look, listen, like civil wars will be fought over the right way to cook a crab, right? We steam it. Where does that dividing line? I think it's like North Carolina. South Carolina, I think they get into low country boil kind of stuff, right?
Yep. South Carolina's that calabash stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Calabash.
So right, I wouldn't be true to my roots so I actually have a whole apparel line that says Team Steam versus Team Boil, right? So obviously it's the way we do it. We steam crabs up here, but I'll put an asterisk next to that. I will never insult anybody if I go to their home in Louisiana or Alabama or Texas and they want to do a boil for me. So I mean, like people will defend that to the day is long off the right way to cook crabs.
I got to be honest with you.
Tangier don't they boil crabs in Tangier? Yeah.
Yep, they do some down there. But what I like really is I like a good boil. I like corn. I like potatoes. I like sausage. I like the crayfish.
Look, that's why I got a
mean?
Cajun season because of those Louisiana roots, man. Like this is some banging Cajun season
Talk a little
right
bit
here.
about that. What's that season all about?
This season is great for like you can make a blackening season for like speckled trout, rockfish, you name it, snakehead, any flounder. I'll tell you if I could eat any fish out of anywhere out of the bay or anywhere in this country, it's a doormat flounder.
Yeah.
But I put a lot of this Cajun season on flounder fillets. But yeah, it's really funny seeing all the different areas of the country and what we kind of hold ourselves prideful for, and like nobody will ever admit. In reality, it's just we're all doing the same thing and the ways we've been raised, But have you been down? You went to Louisiana a couple times, right, or visited down in Alabama?
I've been down there a couple times. I've been to Alabama. I think my favorite place was probably down in Florida, the Crystal River and Homosassa. I mean, because they had alligators there. It was just like you said, the backwaters. I went out with a good friend of mine, Sean Dougherty, down there, Mellow Mangrove. I mean, he's got a good charter business down there. He does scalp diving. He does swimming with manatees. That was some pretty cool stuff. So
that's what we call this one. It's called Backwater Cajun seasoning, specifically for that reason, man. Yeah, and that it's just like some, if you go get lost or the tide goes out or the bugs eat you alive anywhere. But like that's one of the coolest things about here or down there too is just going out and exploring the thousands of acres of just awesome, pristine land, hunting, fishing, you name it, right? So
your favorite fish is flounder?
I will eat a flounder 24/7, 365. Snakeheads are great, but I think a flounder to me, there's just something about my palate or where it tastes. I'll eat it every day.
let's talk
I'm
about
speckled trout, man.
Speckled trout's amazing.
They're probably the prettiest fish you're going to catch in saltwater around here.
Definitely.
Before I ask you the next question, I want to give away a pack of Snakehead Destroyer swim baits here, courtesy of Mr. Roy Bradshaw's Body Shop. Look, if you're down here in the Eastern Shore, it happens all the time. You get in a ditch, you get stuck, you run off the road, you're watching a bird, and you go in a ditch, or you hit a deer, and you need
or you back your boat down the boat ramp.
yeah,
Coming down the road, and Kaz is coming by, runs you in the ditch.
Right. If I run you in the ditch at any time, feel free to call Roy Bradshaw's Towing, and he will come get you out of the ditch. Now, I do have to say this. Roy has
Kaz has an account there.
No, I do. But no, Roy has really been responsive to the folks here that have reached out to us when they've needed some help.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's been dispatched to them as fast as he can get there, get them out of the jam before they're in another pickle with anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, he's hooked me up several times.
Oh yeah, he does all my stuff whenever
you
he's there.
can't forget about Andrew. Andrew's now the mayor up in Cambridge, so he's not down there too much anymore.
He's still doing his work though.
He's still doing some, but I'll tell you what, man. I mean, that was good to see him make a little bit of a change.
What do they have to say to win the Snakehead Destroyer swim baits?
I don't know. Kevin, why don't you pick something? What do you want him to say?
Let's say Arvel's Heritage seasoning. Boom. Arvel's Heritage. Say it for those.
Here, let him see how it's spelled. So you gotta spell it right.
You gotta spell it right. Can you get up in the camera?
Yeah, man.
Now I understand that you got your grandma
Yep.
It's a little blurry back
on your package.
I do.
There you go.
So this is my paternal grandfather, the papa I told you taught me to hunt and fish, and then my mom's mom, my grandmother also, again same thing, phenomenal cook. Everyone put on the camera there.
Yeah, let's see grandma.
This one right here is
she's pretty.
It literally great on everything, right? Like it's great on seafood, vegetables, chicken. Like when you eat this, it's like kind of like the home cooking, those roast, those mashed potatoes, those gravy. So it's kind of cool, like being able to pay a homage to those family and the people I love and friends, right, and family, and just pass this on to everybody.
All right, let's talk about snakeheads for a minute.
All right.
Okay.
Boom.
So you snakehead fish both west side and over here.
I'm gonna represent for Southside, man.
There you go. I've been waiting for that.
I know everyone like it's so funny when I see it back and forth, but everybody can stay on both. It's fine for me, right? We won't complete the triangle, but you have that whole area of the Patuxent and the Potomac over where we live in Southern Maryland, and then right across you have all that Quantico, Virginia, Aquia, right? That area of the Potomac, right? That's where a lot of it started, right? I never see the sheer number or like little snakeheads like you get here. When you catch snakeheads there, they're nice fish, man.
So you mean to tell me they're not all stinked over? They're like a lot of people.
There are some dinosaurs. There are some really big fish. Yeah,
that's what I figured. So, what's your biggest snakehead you've caught so far? What's your PB?
So actually landed over here was 12 pounds. Same thing. I love the chatterbait. Everybody's got their go-to. Everybody loves a topwater blow up of a topwater frog, mouse. But I just chucked a chatterbait, but maybe 2 years ago. Right on our old decrepit duck blind here, man. And you guys all know when those double digits, it's a whole nother breed. So it'd be awesome to catch some of those up. I'm just waiting for whoever can land that 19 or 20 pounder, that 21 pounder. You just better hope and pray you can hold on, man.
Here's the thing. I thought that would come from here. And now, as much as I hate to say it, I have a feeling that the next record's going to come out of the Bush River or Swan Creek, Swan Harbor, somewhere in that area around Aberdeen Proving Ground, maybe even the Gunpowder. Well, it's not, they haven't been there longer. It's just that there's so much off-limit waters there that you can't go to. So, hypothetically, if one of them big fish is eating real good up in one of them creeks and decides, there's no food left here for me, I'm going to go look somewhere else, and he swims out up into Joppatown, Rumsey Island, or up into Flying Point Park or something like that. You know what I mean? Looking for food. I think that's how you're going to see it caught. I'm not sure, but that's just where I'm leaning at now. So I know you said chatterbait. If you had to pick 4 lures to take with you snakehead fishing, what would your top 4 lures be? If you were talking to a new angler and he said, Kevin, I'm going to go buy 4 lures for snakeheads, what should I buy?
Yeah, just the general type, right? I mean, there's a lot of cool brands out there ones people are making, but a chatterbait in general with, a swim bait trailer like you guys have your trailer lures for that size, that 3-4 inch trailer hook on it or grub on it. A booyah buzzbait with the clacker.
Yes.
There's something just about that sound of that buzzbait ripping through the water, and then when they blow it up, man, it's awesome. Obviously, you can't go wrong with the topwater frog or mouse. You always have that in the arsenal. I'm trying to think of one more. I think a lot of times, too, just those basic swim shads, right? Those storm shads and things. I think when you get those 4... whatever. That's what it is, right? It's just a realistic look.
Virtual lure fishing.
Yeah, but I definitely think that's one of the biggest things too, right? We get in this debate of like artificial to live bait and kind of getting on. Everybody knows that a snakehead cannot ignore a giant bull minnow, snakehead destroyer, bluegill, white perch. I mean, those are like if you're in a life or death situation, most people are like, oh, I want to throw an artificial. Well, that's BS. They're going to throw a live lure because you're going to catch it. Everybody knows that's like the big, I catch them all on artificial. But if you had to catch a fish, you throw a lot. And it's weird because it's acceptable when we're out live lining and stuff on the bay. But when it gets in the freshwater, there's a different etiquette about it, right? And my biggest thing is like, you know what? If you're having fun, what you're doing out there, it just depends on the right mood or whatever you're doing that day. Just go do whatever you want to.
I guess Blackwater's a good thing. Blackwater's a tidal system then because it's not freshwater.
I remember Andrew asked us that day he was down. He asked, he said, Gary said, do you fish, because Kaz was fishing minnows, he said, do you fish with a live bait? I said, only when I leave my tackle box out.
and I did catch a few fish, but I didn't get what I was looking for. Yep. He got the snakehead that day.
Buddy. Buzz bait.
And look, I do want to talk about something else because I know Kevin has used these and he has bought them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So what's the report you could give to somebody on the snakehead destroyer?
I'll flat out tell you, I think I picked them up real late night from you one night when I was leaving.
I left them here, I think, outside with some minnows for you or something.
And probably by 7:30, 8 o'clock the next day, I caught like a 4 or 5 pound bass on it. I mean, like same thing on a trailer on the back of a chatterbait.
You were sending me the pictures. I was like, get out of here, dude.
Like, it is one of those days where, again, it's not like, the one upper, but like the bass were just waxing it, man. Like it was like every other cast, just like boom, boom, boom.
Several bass on them.
Yeah, it's just fun. I've actually got a couple of speckled trout on them, Gary's favorite fish. Tons of rockfish. You know, it's just a versatile lure, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good size because I think it's small enough for a small fish to eat and big enough for a big fish.
And you know, we were kind of letting you in on it when we were bringing it
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
you know, because we wanted some feedback from you too, and
Yep.
you know, I think we really nailed it here with this thing. I mean, this bait's 3.5 inches versus, you know, when you're looking at the Kitex,
4.8.
4.8 inches. You know what I mean? You can't put this on a 1/4 ounce chatterbait. I can tell you that
Yeah.
right now.
Well, and
But you could put that on a
Yeah.
1/4 ounce chatterbait right now, and it's pretty as can be because Gary did it. You know.
Yep.
Well, it's cool too, right? Like, obviously, I'm part of this. We're all part of these brands and awesome
man.
things we make outdoors. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great national big name brands out there that we all use. But one of the coolest things, the revolution or evolution or whatever you want to call it, that came out of the snakehead
Yes.
world is like just the crazy amount of cool custom baits
Yeah,
everybody's making,
I mean,
man.
here's one right here.
Yeah.
You know, this is
that a high octane?
high octane bait,
Yep.
and I like this bait here because
The knuckle on
it
it.
swings really good, man.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, you know, you look at this wrap right here. I don't know if they can see that, but that's a wrap, man. You're not pulling that free.
Right,
You're
it's not- it's not just
you're
a
not
bend.
It's not gonna
straightening that
slide
out. It's
on
not
you.
just
Yeah.
bent. It's tied. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing, you look at the bearings. You look at the quality of the product
his
that he's
buzz
making.
No,
here,
yeah,
you
they're
know?
real good.
Yeah, nice buzz.
Well, you know what's cool is so I have a lot of stuff in a bunch of stores, but Bay Country Crab and Supply had an open house a couple weeks ago. You know, a lot of our products there, just such a cool gathering of people. But it was great because a lot of the baits from all of our friends and people in our group, people in the store, I told them over there, I was like, yeah, I'll help you sell some of the stuff today or just talk about it. But it's just really cool introducing people who are just curious. So where have you caught on this? What are your colors? And we all tell, like, everybody thinks they're an expert until you throw something it doesn't catch anymore, right? And you're like, what changed? Right? We're all frantic to do it. But, you know, yeah, the tide, right?
The sun,
wind
the
or-
wind.
But it's just cool when you have a lot of these cool things in your arsenal, supporting you know, family small business as it's up and growing, and just watching things develop and grow. You know, and that's what it's really fun for me to be part of Bassrack with too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think it's been a great relationship with all of us here. I'm sorry. It's been a great relationship, you know, and I think the only thing that we need to just keep doing is just keep putting one foot in front of the other and just keep
Yeah, man.
going, you know, not worry about what's going on around us. Just keep focused on, keep our eye on the prize. That's what I was always told. Keep your eye on the prize. You
And
know?
before let's get into the Angler Spotlight of the Week, sponsored by the Bait Boyz. Kaz, tell them about the Bait Boyz.
So if you need bait and you're down here on the Eastern Shore, you can reach out to the Bait Boyz Facebook page. You can get Snakehead Destroyers if you need soft crabs or peelers for bait. He's got plenty of that. We got bait shrimp. We got blood worms. We got all kinds of good stuff. So reach out to Mr. Damian Tall, and he will get you straight on some bait. And if you want to, he's got some of them pretty little hats over there, too, if you want some of them.
But this week's angler is George Kennedy. Caught this 33-inch, 11-pound snakehead. That is a hog. I think he said that's his fourth dragon this year.
That's good, man.
Over 30 inches, over
That's
10
good,
pounds.
man.
It's
That is
fourth
good.
one.
Good deal.
Yeah, he's tired him up. So
What-
yeah, George, come into this Woolford store, pick up your MEPs, and you'll be good to go, man.
Nice, man. Congrats.
This has been doing pretty good here the last week, the number 5. Okay, with the extra long, extra treble on it. So if you're struggling and you're getting short strikes on single treble hooked MEPs, just spend another $1 or $2 and get the longer one that looks like a little white perch right here. It's coming through the water, and I think they really like that.
Before I forget, let's announce our winners for all the giveaways. TJ Henson, you won the 3-pack of spices from Bassrack
There you go,
Outdoors.
TJ.
Bill Van Horn, you won the T-shirt from CCA and
My
Yamaha.
man, Bill.
Justin Sellers, $10 Woolford store gift card.
We miss you, Justin. You better get out here and fish this tournament Saturday.
Rob and Nicole Cochran, you are being entered into the Midshore Fishing Club's raffle for the Rockfish fishing trip. Mike Dunsmore won the Snakehead Destroyer swim baits.
Nice, man. Congrats,
So-
guys.
I'll tell
That's
you
all our
what,
winners.
this was a pretty good show, and I want to take a minute to say thank you to Kevin for taking time out of your schedule to come out here and spend with us.
Yeah.
It's really good to see you, and I hope that we get to see you more than just today. I'm hoping you can be here Saturday for the tournament, and we would like for you to bring some of that spice with you,
Yeah,
as we're going to
absolutely.
throw some snakeheads on the grill for some people to try out with Dave Sikorsky from CCA.
Yep.
So if you'd like to be here Saturday, we'd love to have you here. I think that Mike from Anglers is coming down Saturday. I
Yeah,
heard.
we got a call just to confirm, but he should be coming
yeah,
down.
we heard he was coming down, or
Yep.
Lindsay or one of them were.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's cool to see how we've all grown this together. Like, obviously, COVID and kind of working through that time frame with everybody, but just kind of getting back to quote unquote normal. You
I think
know,
the
like,
craziest thing was when this whole COVID thing happened.
we were
they
going to do
shut
the
everything down.
Snakehead Festival, man.
Dude,
I mean, that was
well,
great.
we're still
We're
doing
working
it.
on it. We're doing it.
We're doing it. We're doing it this year. It's going to happen
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. We've already
Not
got it in
next
the
year.
works.
Next
Next year,
22.
2022.
Yeah,
We're doing
yeah.
it like in January.
Yeah, yeah.
February,
February, yeah. We're
February.
still nailing down the date.
Yeah. So yeah, we got that to look forward to, and I think, we can all work together. That's the biggest thing, you know. And if we all force ourselves to work together, we can go a lot further than where we are now.
That's right.
You know. And I just have to say, it's been an honor to do business with you. It's been an honor to be your friend. It's been an honor to go fishing and hang out. We won't talk about the parties, but no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, thank you for coming here today. I mean, this has been a great show.
No, it's always good to catch up with you guys. It's been a long past due with the COVID year and everything. People are getting back to doing things, but it's great to call you guys all friends and just working together to boost this awesome outdoor sports and world we live in.
Well, once again, I want to thank you. And before we get out of here, Father's Day is coming up this weekend.
That's right.
So if you're going to eat some crabs, you're going to need to go to bigazzcrabs.com or honestbushel.com or absolutely-mustardpack.com.
One more time before you get into the crabs. I'm just going to give the tournament info.
Go ahead.
This Saturday, June 19th, is the 2021 Snakehead Mayhem Tournament, sponsored by Angler Sports Center.
Kids fish for free. If you can't sign up on the app,
Email us.
just email us and bring the kids.
Yep.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Now, do the parents need to be here for the captain's meeting with kids?
No. So, 3 days left to sign up. Sign-ups close at midnight on Friday night. You have to be here at 5 a.m. Saturday for the captain's meeting. Everybody must be here. If you're not here for the captain's meeting, you will be disqualified. So make sure you're here 5 a.m. I think we only had one not show up for the captain's meeting.
And if you're
last
here
time.
for the captain's meeting, you can get a nice breakfast. You can get a care package when you leave.
The grill will be hot. We'll have stuff for you.
We'll go water this time.
Cold water?
No, river water.
That's right. Yeah, that was bad. I mean, everybody tried to launch their kayaks, and it was just mud there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this Saturday, remember you guys are fighting for the Angler of the Year trophy and prize, and Dave said he was adding in the the bronze sculpture of a snakehead. So that's really cool. And that's sponsored by CCA, Maryland's Great Invasive Chesapeake Count. The leader right now is Tom Malachewski.
But he's got his wig on this time.
Who is leading everything after the last tournament. Calcuttas are $10 each. Heaviest of the tournament sponsored by Bassrack Outdoors.
Kapow!
Longest of the tournament sponsored by Horseman Enterprises.
Kapow!
Most harvested with a minimum of 8 inches sponsored by the Land Group.
Kapow!
And of course the heaviest of the year sponsored by the Bait Boyz, which the leader right now is Tom Malachewski with 5.7 pounds.
Kapow!
And like Kaz said earlier, we have the free kids division sponsored by Roy Bradshaw's Body Shop.
Man, I think it's going to be a good time Saturday. The weather's looking good. The water's looking good. The fish seem to be cooperating a little bit more now that we've had some fresher water get thrown back up in here and cooled it off a little bit.
It's been some fish caught the past week or so.
I would love nothing more than to see a kid catch the big.
Me too.
Everybody's like, I'm the best. I want to catch all this. And I just want to see like an 8-year-old kid just catch a 20-pound.
I'll tell you what. We know Little Willie's going to show up here, and we know he
can catch some fish.
He can catch some fish, and he's going to be a young man to be reckoned with on Saturday. I can tell you that. So
that's awesome, man.
So Father's Day is this weekend.
Yep.
Crabs are coming overboard like you wouldn't believe. We're actually catching a good catch. So we're going to start selling some crabs on the wholesale level at the crab stand for anybody up there in York or Lancaster or any places like that needs crabs for the restaurant. Anywhere, Hereford, Towson, whatever you need, just let me know. We're going to have hard crabs. We're going to have soft crabs. I'm going to probably have some crab meat. It's going to be a good weekend. I'm probably going to add a few more things to the list, maybe some rockfish fillets. Who knows? It's hard to say. But before I leave you today, I give away free crabs every Thursday. It's actually the Sunday Fun Day giveaway, but we're on Tuesday.
I was about to say we're on Tuesday, not Thursday.
So we've switched our podcast days from Thursday to Tuesday. So now we'll give the crabs away on Tuesday. You won't have to wait 2 more days to find out who won them.
You're a little bit closer to Sunday now.
I was going to say we switched back 2 more days.
The Sunday, Monday, Tuesday giveaway. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So here's what I did. We said we're going to give away a bushel. So here's what we're going to do. Lori Hamilton, I'm going to give you 2 dozen Maryland crabs. Mike Ruck, my good friend Mike Ruck, you get 2 dozen free crabs this weekend. Paul Douchman, you get 2 dozen free crabs this weekend. So look, let me leave you with a little crabby jingle. And look, I made a post over on the crab stand page. What you need to do is put a picture of your dad in the comments. I'm going to pick a winner off of that this weekend for one of the Father's Day giveaways, okay? So before we leave you today, again, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We thank you for your support and watching every week. We appreciate the comments and the feedback we're getting. Like we always say, if there's something that you want to see us do that we're not doing, just tell us. I'm crazy enough. I might do it.
We'll see you club members tomorrow night,
Yep.
and we'll see all of you tournament fishers on Saturday.
And tomorrow night at the Fishing Club, we have Dave McCullum. So you've got time. You can sign up. Go over to the Fishing Chaos app. Sign up.
The link is in the description of the video.
Yep, the link is in the description. So get signed up if you want to come tomorrow and meet Dave McCullum, shake his hand, and get some of the juice on what's going on around the bay.
Sign up at the door too.
Yep, you can sign up at the door too, no problem. And if you sign up and you have a kid, your kids are
in
welcome free. Yep, no matter where. So let's leave them a little crabby jingle. What do you think? You got Eddie, Gary, you guys want to sing with me tonight?
I'm sure, just
Absolutely
like
not.
always.
Yeah.
All right, well, I got faith in my good friend Kevin. He's going to come in here at the end, and he's going to do the last three
Don't do it, Kevin.
kapows.
Don't do it.
He's going to do the last three kapows. That's what I'm going to let him do. Okay?
Maybe. Let's see.
No, he's going to do the last three
You
kapows.
try everybody. I love
So
it.
anyway,
Just have one of those things, sprinkle some sauce on him.
folks, my crabs, they have three first names. It's heavy, full, and fat. My crabs, they have a fourth name. Eddie, what are you holding your ear for? Absolutely mustard packed! So, if you ask me where they're from, they're all from right here on the eastern shore, right here in Little Chop Tank, Big Chop Tank, Wye River, Tillman, Miles River. They're 100% guaranteed Maryland number one.
Number ones, baby.
At the crab stand, here's a fact I know for sure you're coming back.
Kapow! Kapow! Kapow!
My man!